Today, from Seattle, Washington, this is Madden Football on EA Sports. Jason Myers to kick off for Seattle.
Here's the kicker, Jason Myers, to get this one started. And off we go from Seattle. That's fielded on the back line of the end zone. They will elect to not bring this one out as our first drive will begin at the 25. Coming out with a jumbo package to start the drive. Working from the gun, Garoppolo. And he finds the tight end, Reed. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4. They'll contain him to just 4. Second down.
Second and 6 at the 29.
A shotgun snap for Garoppolo. Looking underneath, and he finds McKinnon. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled.
Complete to Jerick McKinnon.
Good route, good pickup for first down yardage, and that is a tough one to cover, the angle route, because a running back getting out of the backfield, if you're trying to cover that, especially if you're in the linebacker spot, and you're seeing this play develop, he heads out towards the flat first, and that often gets you to overcommit running in that direction. Then he cuts back up inside you into the middle of the field. That's what we just saw there for a nice pickup.
Garoppolo able to get this complete to Ayuk. 11 yards on the pickup, and they'll be faced with a 3rd and inches.
Fired that one in there, able to make connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes when they're going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, might be bigger and lead to an interception?
Yeah, and the deflection works both ways. Maybe a defender gets a hand in the way and it pops in the air, and sometimes you throw it so hard your receiver can't handle it, and he pops it up in the air for the defenders to grab as well.
But a moot point there as they were able to connect. A 3rd down gain of 3 yards, and that'll be enough.
I know the game's changed. A lot of people would say it's evolved. Look, I'm a little bit Neanderthal, okay? I love this. No exotic formations, no misdirection. Just line up and run the darn ball and pick up the first down. I love it.
Yeah, 3rd and short. That's what you're supposed to do, like you said. Old school, smash mouth football. He was trying to get it to Jerick McKinnon there, and it's 2nd down. Now Garoppolo lost the football, and the Seahawks have recovered. Seattle's first go on offense forthcoming, and under center, of course, Russell Wilson.
Gave the commencement address at the University of Wisconsin a couple of years ago. One of the most popular players ever to pull on the uniform there. Beginning of his career, he was a so-called game manager. Take care of the football and rely on the defense. Now, in this stage of his career, the offense runs through him, and it runs very well.
Now he'll pull it down. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. Opted to run for it. The decision a good one. Picking up the first, getting 14 yards on the scramble. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Steps away to his left. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. The escapability in evidence there as that one good for 15 and a first. Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on 1st down. Now it's Wilson dancing to his left. Almost able to intercept it. That's what I would have liked to have held on to on this first drive. Instead, 2nd down. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. On the move to his left. It's just a gain of a couple there on the scramble, and now it's 3rd down.
He was able to get away earlier in the drive, but apparently all the time they put in practice finally came to the front, didn't it? They remembered their lessons and found a way to contain him when he took off on that one.
And he will score.
Go!
From 17 yards out. And the Seahawks have taken a 1st quarter lead.
Well, they were backed up on 3rd and goal, and when you saw them start to scramble. My thought process was he'll get what he can and maybe get out of bounds. But he got a little bit greedy there. And in this case, greed was good as he got into the end zone.
Myers connects on the PAT. And that makes the score 7-0.
Jason Myers to kick off for Seattle.
And after the touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away. That's fielded on the back line of the end zone. And we see James. He will now return it, and they'll bring it out to the 25. Back out there comes the 49ers offense ready for their second drive. And last time the turnover on the fumble, and they were in enemy territory, so that had to be very frustrating. Down on the scoreboard here, can't do it again.
You nailed every part of what was frustrating. Down on the scoreboard, had a drive going, and pushed it past the 50-yard line, so they thought they were in striking distance. And to come away with nothing, not a good feeling at all, to put it mildly. Now they can't afford to do that again.
Yeah, now can they get that bad taste out of their mouth here? It'll be a loss of a couple on the play, so now third down coming up. From the gun, it's Garoppolo. This one into the hands of Kittle, the tight end. Good defense holds him to only a yard, and it'll be fourth down.
Partner, I think that completion takes the definition of dink and dunk to a different level, doesn't it?
It does, and the defense was right there, kind of played into their hands. Returning it is Moore. That's a 49-yard punt, 8 on the return. And it'll be Seahawk football, 1st and 10. Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. They've got a 7-0 lead in the football as well as they start out 1st and 10. And incomplete there, almost picked off. That's one you maybe expect your roaming free safety to come up with. But it's 2nd down. 5-timers left. And he'll be taken down as that will take us to the end of the first quarter of play. After one, 7-0 on EA Sports.
49ers nothing.
Forced out to his left. That one going to be complete to David Moore. He'll get this one down near the 20-yard line. Just shy of the 20. The catch and run going to wind up netting him 33 yards. So the big play gets him all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. Being chased out left. And now he's going to use his legs. And they were just near the 5. The escapability in evidence there as that one good for 15 in the first. 2 big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal. And he is in for the Seattle touchdown. Russell Wilson with his 2nd touchdown here in this first half. Yeah, the Seahawks are able to stretch that lead out a bit further.
There's not much that's perfect in football, but that's about as close to it as you're going to get. Score, force a punt, score again.
And both drives were impressive. The opening drive was, that last one was. Now on the other side, though, what's your psyche? You're really behind the 8 ball.
You got to make sure you just hold in there. Survive the early storm. Relax a little bit and try and get back to your game plan. It's way too early for panic.
14.
Extra point up and through by Myers. And that'll make the score 14-0.
Jason Myers to kick off for Seattle.
And after the touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away. Fields it in the middle of the end zone. And we see James. He will not return it, and they'll bring it out to the 25.
25-yard line.
San Francisco set to go on offense once more. And it's been a rocky start for them thus far. They had the turnover and then the punt on those first 2 drives.
So there is optimism because they've improved, right? And turnover, you just noted it.
Punt's better. Punt's better than the turnover.
The punt is better on the second one. Now they're hoping to turn it into first downs and hopefully points.
To throw, it's Garoppolo. He'll get this into the hands of Mostert. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22.
Why me always? Me? Why me always?
And I always enjoy the conversation because because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
Now he's going to swing this one out to his running back. 3 yards the game there, second down. Well, these two rivals played 2 of the better games in the NFL a season ago. You remember week 17, it was Dre Greenlaw stopping Jacob Hollister at the 1 to preserve a 26-21 49er win. And that wound up both winning them the NFC West and earning them the #1 seed.
It's a gain of 2 yards. And it's
from the gun on third, Garoppolo. Now Garoppolo lost the football. And the Seahawks recovered. He already had the 1 fumble loss, so now 2 fumbles lost here in this first half.
Not setting the pace the way that you want it done. I mean, here in the first half, already twice the ball's come out and hit the turf. Got to find a way to take care of it. Otherwise, they may have to start thinking about maybe someone different in that position.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Following the fumble recovery, it's Wilson. Looking left side, that's caught by
Go!
Score! Touchdown, Seattle! David Moore, 31 yards. And the Seahawks add on to their lead. So simple math here in the first half. They've had 3 drives offensively, and they have scored every time, and they've got the lead.
Well, whenever we talk about adjustments, we usually talk about an offense making adjustments, right? This is all about the defense. They've got to figure out some way, somehow to slow them down. Do they blitz a little bit more? Do they play more zone coverage? Right now, they don't know where to go because they're hitting them in every direction.
And his kick is good. Those are the kind of drives they like on offense, from the coordinator to the quarterback, the line, everybody. 1 play drive and into the end zone for 6.
Jason Myers to kick off for Seattle.
And after the touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away. Takes this about 5 yards deep. And we see James, he will not return it, and they'll bring it out to the 25. Here comes Jimmy Garoppolo now to lead his offense back out there. In the second quarter, they're down big already. He's struggling as well. They've got to find something here. He's got to find something on this drive.
And sometimes you take out
and trying to get it to Samuel, but it's intercepted.
Go!
Extending this lead even further. Boy, it's been a while since I've seen a team struggle this badly in the first half.
I think all they want to do is get to the locker room, try and regroup, and come out to start the third quarter. But if things don't improve fast then, I think the backups get a lot of play in the second half.
It's good, and they stretch their lead to 28-0 now. So the defense creating some points, not only getting the interception, but then returning it to the end zone for the pick 6.
Myers to kick off for Seattle.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6. And now the kick is away. Here's Richie James on the return. And out a little across the 25 to the 27.
The Niners take over 1st and 10 at their own 20.
Set to take over again here on offense, Jimmy G and the 49ers. He's got to dig deep here, doesn't he? Team's losing. He's not playing well either.
And they always tell you, don't press. You'll make things a little bit worse. But in this particular situation, you try and heighten your play a little bit. So far, he's thrown 1 interception. He wants to balance that off with at least 1 touchdown pass in order to get his team back moving forward.
A good pickup there, 21 yards. So 1 play, and they're already just shy of midfield.
49ers.
Garoppolo completes it to the tight end, Kittle. A good rally to the football keeps him to only a yard, and it's 2nd down.
Gain of a yard brings up 2nd and 9 at their 49-yard line.
Garoppolo going to give to Mostert. And he's up across midfield and down into Seattle territory. Give him 3 yards, and now they're left needing a conversion here on 3rd and 6.
3-yard pickup. And it's 3rd down.
We remind you that coming up at halftime, Jonathan Coachman will be alongside. He'll have highlights and analysis from Orlando of this first half of action. And that's knocked away and incomplete. Give credit to K.J. Wright. He was disrupting defensively.
And that's a nice job there because you've got to play the ball, not the man when in coverage. That'll keep you away from a lot of needless penalties. And he's able to knock that one away.
The Seahawks take over 1st and 10. At their own.
Russell Wilson now gears up to lead the offense again. A big reason why they've been so successful, this defense hasn't been able to contain him when he gets outside of the pocket.
So true, and that's when it's really difficult because defensively you can have a game plan and try to account for all the things you've seen on tape, the way that they run their plays, even his running. But when it's a play where you just can't really say, okay, that's how to put.
Well, he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And all the way in, touchdown Seattle. Russell Wilson with 2 first-half touchdown passes. And the Seahawks offense continues to pour it on. Now he's having a nice little first half here, partner.
And it's a first half that leaves us anticipating what can still come. I mean, 2 touchdowns already here through the second quarter. There could be plenty more before this game is over.
And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. They certainly made quick work of that, ultra-quick work. One of the fastest drives you'll ever see, just 1 play resulting in the touchdown.
For Seattle.
And after the touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away. Here's James. And taken down just past the 20 at about the 21-yard line.
Take over 1st and 10 at their own 21-yard line.
The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
No, that would tell my offense right here. The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist.
Now Garoppolo lost the football. And the Seahawks have recovered.
Brandon, that's the 3rd time he's fumbled so far in this game. And, you know, you can make excuses for each and every one of them. But the bottom line is he's got to take care of it better. And now that he's shown a propensity for fumbling, just think about what the defenders are trying to do.
Yeah, well, guys hate 1 fumble, 2's, oh my goodness, 3 or more. Wow.
Just doesn't make any sense, does it?
Wilson now, following the fumble recovery. And he will score. Touchdown. Russell Wilson on his way to a monster game. 3 first-half touchdowns. And the Seahawks are running away with this one.
Okay, we need to double-check here with Marvin because he keeps all of our good stats. But what I've got is 5 drives, 5 touchdowns, and they've got a nice, healthy lead.
Well, after the first drive, we thought things might be clicking. They're really clicking at this point. They're clicking about as much as they can click. And I guess that click a lot.
Yes, you did, but that's okay because the guy who's coordinating the defense, trying to slow them down, he's going to have hair that looks like mine very soon. Not much of it.
Jason Myers to kick off for Seattle.
And after the touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away. Fielded in the end zone. And we see James. He will now return it, and they'll bring it out to the 25.
At their own 25-yard.
Deebo Samuel and the 49ers back in possession here. Hasn't had his best day to this point here in the second quarter, and they're losing. You got to think, though, that also means that maybe the defense doing a good job on him. There's 2 sides to that coin.
I would agree, so you have to give them credit, but that means you got to find a way to beat that defense and make sure one of your top playmakers touches the football and has an impact on the game. Change formations, change where he lines up, put him in motion, anything possible to shake him free.
Maybe that greater impact comes here on this drive. Man open, that's Deebo Samuel. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. A gain of 13. It's a first down. Over the middle to Kittle. Complete. The 49ers now going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. Looking to throw again on second down. Garoppolo. And an incomplete pass. That'll stop the clock here with just under a minute to play in half number one.
That was well played, but that's also an example of a corner who understands his coverage, realized he had support behind him, and could be a little more aggressive in the shorter zone, and did exactly that, knocking that pass away.
Now San Francisco going to call their second timeout as the clock will stop with 55 seconds to go until halftime. Here's Garoppolo on 1st and 10. And the Seahawks defense gets to him and they bring him down. Jaron Reed picks up his second sack of the afternoon. And that one will fall incomplete. Clock here now just under 30 seconds to go in this first half.
The field rhythm there defensively.
It'll be a gain of 5, and the punt team will now come out on 4th down.
Well, they got off the field on 3rd down. Excellent job, an excellent defensive series. We always talk about adjustments, and usually only at halftime. But the best teams adjust series to series. And on that series, they adjusted so well that they got the job done in fine style.
So we've reached half. Due to time constraints, we move you forward in today's broadcast to the beginning of the 3rd quarter.
49ers nothing.
The Seahawks with the advantage, and they get the football first as the second half is underway. And he'll be brought down at the 28-yard line, so the decision to bring it out of the end zone gets him 3 more.
The Seahawks take over 1st and 10 at their own.
The Seattle now ready to march onto the field. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we got, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively.
I know he was trying to get the completion downfield, but the way this game has gone, with a few of the runs he's made along the way, he should have kept the ball and taken it with his feet downfield. That's the big play that shreds the defense. Instead, he thought to himself, I'm a quarterback, I've got to throw it. He bailed out the defense with that incompletion.
And they're able to get this one across the 35. The rushing numbers for Wilson, maybe down from earlier in his career, but he's still a threat to go, showing it there, picking up the first down. Not only another first down, that also puts him over 100 yards rushing.
That's not something you see very often in the NFL. We see it more in college, but I think with more of the melding of the college game with quarterbacks, we'll see this a little bit more often in the future.
Dancing to his left. He's going to take off with him. Fighting through it, he's got space. And he is finally out of bounds, just shy of the 5, all the way down at the 6. Big yardage there on the scramble. It gets him a first down. So he wanted to pass it, but that thing turned out much better.
And the crowd really responded, didn't they? They always like it better when the quarterback...
And he is going to go down. Back at the 11-yard line. But Nick Bosa so quick on the outside, he gets in there to bring him down. So they get pushed back to the 11, and here's 2nd and goal. Under pressure again, and down he goes again. Nick Bosa able to get in there for his 2nd sack of the afternoon. 2 straight sacks have him backed up now for a 3rd and goal. Steps away. End zone caught. Touchdown, Seattle. Making a hat trick for Russell Wilson. 3 touchdown passes now as his guys continue to put this one out of reach.
And this is obviously quite a performance. And most of the time when we talk about someone putting a team on their back, I think we're talking about a guy who runs the football. In this case, it's a guy out wide catching it, and he's done exactly that. Truly leading his team right now towards victory.
Are you live streaming?
Touchdown catches, he's been the headliner. And after the touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away. This taken in about 4 yards deep. And we see James. He will now return it, and they'll bring it out to the 25. Here's a look at the 49ers offense as they make their way out for their first possession of the second half. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try to figure out what is working, and call more of that. Another attempt, another incompletion, and when I look at the scoreboard and where we are in this game, it comes to mind that they have to start getting the ball in the hands of their playmakers. Throw it to the guys that maybe can take a short pass and turn it into a long game or make people miss downfield. They've got to have points. And the guys who can put the ball in the end zone, they're the ones that need to touch the ball.
15 yards on the play, first down.
That was a fun one to watch right there. A nice in-breaking route and plenty of room in the middle of the field. And he was able to get behind the linebackers and grab the completion for a really good pickup.
Garoppolo now, first down throw. This throw is going to be incomplete. Deebo Samuel was the intended receiver. And that'll bring up second down.
The shield ribbon there defensively.
Now Mostert. And he takes this up right near the 45-yard line. They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4.
And there's a run to be happy with. Good, solid yardage. They'll take that any time you hand the ball to a back.
Now Garoppolo lost the football.
Wilson sacked.
Offensively lucky they're able to keep the football, but now 4th down, so they'll have to boot it away.
I do think, though, they're going to look at this as a positive. One, they recovered the fumble, so they retained possession. But two, being able to punt it changes field position for them. Imagine if that turnover takes place there. Now your defense has to go onto the field and try and hold. Instead, they get a little breathing room.
At their own 20-yard line.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And that last drive, it was all about the ground game, ground and pound.
And I don't care how we're playing the game these days. Offensive linemen still want to fire out and smack the guy opposite them and move the football on the ground. They feel better about that. That's what they want to do. That's how they want to play, and that's how they got it done.
Yeah, they got it for a touchdown last drive. Let's see what happens here. They'll run it. They'll get 3 yards on the scramble there at second down.
So many times we talk about having good eye discipline when you're playing defense, making sure your eyes are in the proper place on a given play. Looks like that discipline came to the front door, didn't it? They were able to hold him for a short gain when he took off.
There he goes, left side. Touchdown, Seattle. David Moore, 58 yards. And this offense continues to pour it on. And let's count them up now. 1, 2, 3, 4 touchdown receptions for him in this game.
And just one shy of the NFL record. What a great performance. Going up and catching the football, creating space, and finding the end zone. That's what it's all about.
And the lead grows even larger here in the 3rd quarter. So the drive there, they went 80 yards in 3 plays. And the Seahawks capping it off with a touchdown.
Myers to kick off for Seattle.
And after the touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away. Now James returning. And he'll be stopped up at the 25.
Over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
And San Francisco gets set to go here. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11.
This defense is just flat getting after it. They've not given up much of anything in the run game. Case in point right there.
No gain that time, and it leaves them with 3rd and 11 coming up.
No gain on the play. And it's third down.
And that is going to do it for this third quarter of action. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Third down now. Those last two plays indicative of how things have gone for them. Just nowhere to go on the ground and struggling to put up points. A play fake from Mostert. Now Garoppolo. Completes it to Samuel. And take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. A first down and then some. Give him 29 yards.
Well, this game was decided a while ago, and that completion there is going to artificially inflate his passing numbers. So right now, the only one really applauding probably his agent as he thinks about angling for a new contract.
So from Seahawks territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 47. Garoppolo now. And that is caught on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. The throw took him a little too far. It's 2nd down.
Shaquille Griffin there defensively.
Back to the air on 2nd. It's Garoppolo. Looking right sideline, but it's incomplete. Kendrick Bourne, the intended receiver. And now it's 3rd down.
It's 3rd down.
And Garoppolo looks to throw once more. Got the connection here to Bourne. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. A gain of 10 and a 49er first down.
First down, 49ers.
Garoppolo again. That is caught right at the 10-yard line. He's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line.
First and goal.
That'll be marked as a 27-yard pickup. Here's Mostert. And he'll take this from the 9 down to about the 7.
Mostert.
What a game this defense continues to play, huh?
Yeah, they've been aggressive from the first snap, and they've controlled this ball game. But right now, if you're on the other side of the ball, you've got to match that aggressiveness. No points so far in this game. Moving the football, you've got to be that way to go against them and try and get some points on the board.
And I'm curious on the defensive side if they stay aggressive, because you know they want to pitch this shutout.
Yeah, they have to be aggressive, but they also have to be smart about it as well, because one mistake can turn into 6 points.
Garoppolo now on 3rd and goal. That'll be caught by touchdown 49ers. A 7-yard touchdown grab. And the Niners, they eat in just a bit to this sizable deficit. So they will get on the scoreboard here. Give them credit for that. Too little, too late, but no 0. Oh, you're going slow clap on me.
Not very nice, is it?
No, but they haven't been very nice on offense. It's been a struggle. Robbie Gould on for the extra point. And his kick is good. The flags come in. Looks like we're going to get a roughing call here on the follow-through.
Yeah.
So they will accept the penalty and move forward. After the roughing penalty on the PAT, they'll kick off from 15 yards further upfield. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback.
25-yard line.
Wilson, the Seahawks take over now, 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. And right away, he'll look to throw. And he's got his man in stride, complete. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly. Even though they've got this big advantage, Charles, they are not taking their foot off the gas pedal right now.
Well, I think what we're seeing is the result of all their great preparation and great practice time during the week. And even though it seems like this is a great chance to pull people back and maybe, not try and score a few more times, They don't want to do that. I think they're enjoying what they're seeing, the collective effort, and they want to play it all the way out.
Myers connects on the PAT, and the lead will swell by one more.
49ers 7. Jason Myers to kick off for Seattle.
And after the touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away. Here's James. And the tackle going to be made right there at the 25-yard line.
At their own 25-yard line.
San Francisco set to go on offense once more. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things.
Here's a good way to kick off the drive, complete over the middle. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A very solid gain of 27. Offense for them has been at a premium. You wonder where plays like that have been all game long.
They're thinking the exact same thing themselves, but they're also looking forward now, because now these plays are really for next week, trying to get some momentum going.
So from Seahawk territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line. Working from the gun, Garoppolo. Pressure comes. He's taken down by the Seahawk defense. L.J. Collier in there to record another sack. And that is now 6 on the afternoon for this defensive unit.
That right now, that's a defeated team out there. I think you can see it totally in their body language.
Hands on hips, heads low. It's just been a struggle from the start.
Yeah, this team has been thoroughly beaten right from the get-go.
So it's 49er football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Throwing on 2nd and long. Garoppolo. That's going to be caught by Samuel. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down.
Samuel.
One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball, because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
It's Garoppolo. Trying for Ayuk, but it's intercepted. Picked off by DJ Reed. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. That's the story of the game. They've been suffocating all game long on defense. They were suffocating there again in a big way.
And they've done it not just by out-athleting them, which is often the case, but by being able to adjust to anything they try to throw at them, beating them into the punch each and every time. This was a defensive play there.
The extra point now coming from Myers. Now this one was over a while ago as they just added to the heck of a play there defensively, getting the interception, navigating his way into the end zone for the touchdown.
Jason Myers to kick off for Seattle.
So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. Now James returning. That brings us out past the 20 to the 24.
Richie James on the return. The Niners take over 1st and 10.
The 49ers getting set to trot out there. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team. Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
Throwing again on second down.
Oh.
And he's going to find his man out of the backfield. That's complete. A gain of 3 last play. This time they double it and pick up 6.
6 yards. And it's 3rd down.
Garoppolo to throw on his own long. He's got his man. It's Kendrick Bourne. And he's going to have a Niners first down as they're able to convert on 3rd and short yardage with a gain of 4. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Again, they'll throw with Garoppolo. He's going to find his running back. It's complete. And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40. They'll contain him to just 4. 2nd down.
A gain of 4. It's now 2nd and 6.
And yet again, it's Garoppolo.
No.
Incomplete. 16 seconds now on the clock. Trent Taylor, the one he was looking for. And that takes us from 2nd to 3rd down.
3rd down. And 6 yards to go.
Go.
From the gun, it's Garoppolo. Complete as the clock stop with 14 seconds remaining. Here comes the 4-yarders punter now. As he's on for the 5th time here today. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. So a change of possession here on the punt. And there'll be time for maybe one final play before we hit triple zeros.
And he's got to be fired up about that effort. I don't think he could have walked down and placed it any better than where he ended up putting the football. That's excellent.
Buying time this lead. He'll try and run it. He's able to get this across the 10 before being taken down. Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points.
My AP mi wawa mi ya I me to ote pa.
Pass, it's all going to work.